Chair Smith, the meeting is now live.
Thank you very much. Welcome everybody for tonight's Halifax West Community Council meeting. It is, August 30th. Wow, summer, where'd you go? And I won't do a audio and video check. We've been here many times. So I think we're only missing Councillor Cleary at the moment, who sent regrets, which is fine. So before that, I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are on Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral traditional lands of the Mi'kmaq people, and the municipality acknowledges the peace and friendship treaty signed on this territory and recognizes that we are all free people. Approval of the minutes, July 19, 2022. Mover and seconder.
I'll move that.
Thank you.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Cottle, seconded by Councilor Stoddard. Any questions, omissions, additions, deletions, anything for the minutes? Seeing none, question on the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. All right. Approve of order of business, approve of additions and deletions. Clerk.
Chair Smith, there are no additions or deletions from the clerk's office.
Thank you. Thank you. Moved by Councilor Stoddard, seconded by.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Councilor Cottle. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Have an agenda. No business arising of the minutes. Call for declaration of conflict of interest. Do we have any? Seeing none. Motion of consideration, none. Motion of rescission, none. Consideration of deferred business, we have none. Notice the table matters, we have the none. So on to the meat with our hearing. Case 10.1.1, case 24241, rezoning 4510 Prospect Road, Bayside. And I believe we have our staff we need. Can't see everyone. I think so. Oh, I see. All right, yes, we do. Before we go to the staff presentation, I just want to give the order of events for the virtual hearing. First, we'll hear from our staff, and then the applicant will have an opportunity to present to us, and we would then finish with comments from the public hearing speakers. However, there are no registered speakers for this public hearing, and as a reminder for those watching at home, deadline to register as a speaker was 4:30, the business day prior to the hearing, which is Monday, May 9th. Is that date correct?
Sorry, Chair Smith, that was it was yesterday, August 29th.
Right, 29th. Okay, cool. With Monday, August 29th. So, has there been any correspondence, clerk?
Chair Smith, there was no correspondence for this item.
All right, thank you. And I will pass the mic over to staff who are here to present to us.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chair, and good evening. My name is Byung Jin, and I'm the planner for case 24241, a rezoning application for 4510 Prospect Road in Bayside. So this application is proposed by East Coast Evergreen Development, Inc. I believe the applicant is here today, and the intention is to build a single unit dwelling on a vacant property. So the property is right on the Lighthouse route. As you can see on the two maps, it's on the way to the Pace Cove. There's 3 levels of planning policy. The first level is the regional plan and regional subdivision bylaw that guides the overall direction on population growth and municipal services in Halifax Regional Municipality. And then there's the municipal planning strategy and sometimes the secondary planning strategy that outlines different types of development that can be considered by council. So that includes rezoning and development agreement. Then the land use bylaw specifies development that are permitted without going through the council and public engagement process. The subject site at 4510 Prospect Road is currently zoned as local service or I3 zone, which allows auto shop, trucking services, wholesale bakeries, and so on. It is in the rural residential E designation, which is intended for our low density rural residential neighborhood with supports to agricultural and fishery use. But at the moment, the site is vacant. Staff received the application in April and consulted the local resident in May. Council conducted the first reading back in July, and we're now at public hearing. If this application is approved, there will be a 14-day appeal period before the applicant can apply for a building and development permit. Staff distributed 37 letters to the neighborhood, and while there were at least 44 views on the Halifax website, staff does not receive any phone calls, emails, or letters about this application. This rezoning application is enabled under policy RR2E, which established the RR1 zone, which is the zone that the applicant wishes to have. And this might be a good place to mention why this application is in front of the council for consideration this evening. Even though the existing zone, the I3 zone, already allows a single unit dwelling. So the reason is because the new dwelling has to be in conjunction with a local service use. And again, that includes an auto body shop, trucking services, or wholesale bakery, for examples. The applicant expressed that he just wants a house and a house only. And in order to do so, this rezoning is required. So before council decides on the rezoning, there are some considerations such as on-site sewage, water, zone requirement, and watercourse buffer that we need to consider beforehand. So first, the water. So the applicant has indicated that the on-site septic system, it was already approved by the Nova Scotia Environment and Climate Change, which should be enough to handle up to 6-bedroom unit. And the site would also be on the drill well, so there will be no municipal services that will be involved with this development. The future house has to meet all the zoning requirements as everyone else in the neighborhood. That includes the height, footprint, size of the building, lot coverage, and so on. Staff has not really identified any concerns according to the site plan that was submitted to the staff. The one thing staff will mention is the watercourse buffer. The site faces the Atlantic Ocean, and because of its steepness, the buffer is increased from 20 meters to 21.5 meters. Having said that, there is a sufficient room to construct a new building, even with the increased buffer, and that has been identified by the applicant. So the plan on the right of the slide and the red circle, that indicates all the setbacks requirement and the lot coverage requirement as stated in the RRE1 zone, in which that's the zone that applicant wishes to go into. And this is just to highlight that the applicant is already aware of the future zoning requirement. So based on those considerations, staff would like to recommend that the council approve the proposed rezoning. So thank you very much, and back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Young Jun?
That's correct, yes.
So is this your debut for Halifax West Community Council?
This will be the first presentation in Halifax Regional Municipality.
Oh, wow. Well, welcome. You did great. You didn't mess it up, so your team will be proud. Thank you. Any questions from members at all? Question clarification? Seeing none. All right. Again, thank you very much. We will open the public hearing. So we will invite the applicant to address council, and the applicant has 10 minutes. And do we have someone on behalf of the applicant here this evening?
Hello there, just taking 1 second to set up my, do you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Welcome.
Oh, great. Okay, and I guess you could see me by any chance now?
I can see your name. I'm in.
Yes, I'm in. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. 1 second, I guess. Yes, hello.
There you go. Hey, welcome.
Yes, I don't know if I have much to say other than thank you so much for everybody to join this today and make us getting closer to having our home built. Now, I don't know if I have much to say other than the neighbors were all relieved that there's not going to be someone banging on a old truck at noon. So all I can say is that, I mean, if you have any particular question, I'll be happy to answer. But other than that, my discussion with all our neighbors has been positive and they have been relieved for the most part. And we are hoping to just join the neighborhood and enjoy the ocean.
Thank you, Amin. I'll just look at committee members if anyone has any questions or clarification for the applicant at all. I am not seeing any, so you might be getting off easy here. So with that, I will open, well, I guess the public hearing has already been opened and we have no one signed up. So
Well,
you don't have to respond.
If there's no resistance, maybe give me a 30, 40 meters high tower. I will take it.
Don't pressure luck. I know Councilor Cuddle will tell you that. Well, again, we appreciate you being here, and we have nobody signed up to speak. So I'll look for a motion to close the public hearing.
Thank you.
I move to close
much,
the
Amin.
public hearing.
Thank you very much. And seconded by Councilor Stoddard. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed say nay. All right, hearing is closed. And if there are no further question clarification from members of staff from the presentation, I'll ask for the motion to be put on the floor.
And I will gladly put the motion on the floor.
Thanks.
All right. I move that Halifax and West Community Council adopt the amendment to Schedule A, zoning map of the land use bylaw for Planning District 4 Prospect, as set out in Attachment A of the staff report dated June 16th, 2022.
Second.
Thank you. Seconded by Councilor Morse. Councilor Cuddle.
Yep, I think this is a pretty straightforward application. It's actually, I would consider this a down zoning in terms of usage by not having a commercial operation such as a garage or a truck depot or some kind of big this commercial facility. And so I'm very much in support of this, and I wish the applicant all the luck in building his new home.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else with questions, comments? If none, I'll call for the question on this.
Question.
Question been called. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. All right, that passes. Thank you, colleagues. So moving on to 10.2 variant appeal hearings, we have 11.1 correspondence. Do we have any correspondence, clerk?
Chair Smith, there's no correspondence from the clerk's office.
Thank you. 11.2 petitions. Any petitions?
The clerk's office did not receive any petitions for this meeting.
All right, members. Nope, see none. We have no presentations, information items brought forward. We have none. And going on to our next item, which is report 13.2.1, case 22728, development agreement for 5241, 5247 South Street, Stairs House, 5230 Harvey Street, and 5240, 5246 Harvard Street, Halifax, for a multi-unit dwelling and restoration of a registered heritage property. And I believe we have Aaron here to present to us today, possibly.
I think if it's first reading, we just put the motion on the floor.
Oh, you are very right. You got it. Councilor
I'm
Mason,
here,
the floor
Mr.
is
Chair,
yours.
just in case you have any questions, but Councilor Mason is correct.
Yep. Thank you, Councilor Mason. The floor is yours.
Sure. I'll move that Halifax and West Community Council give a notice of motion to consider the proposed development agreement as set in attachment A of June 20th, 2022 report to enable an 8-story plus penthouse multi-unit residential building as an addition to the registered heritage building located at 5241 5247 South Street and schedule a public hearing.
Second.
Thank you. Seconded by Councilor Morse.
So my
Further?
question for Aaron, since he's here to answer any questions at all, is what's the orbital velocity of the moon? I'm just kidding. I don't have any questions. It's the first reading. I will just note for the record that some folks in the community have quite rightly said that Stairs House as a historic name, it's kind of a legacy name on the house. But there are that's definitely tainted with anti-Black racism historically, and the owners of the property have made it clear they don't intend to use that name going forward. I think they're gonna call it a South House or Harvey Street House or something. But I just wanted to own that now before we can get to the public hearing, because I know that's been an issue that's been quite rightly brought up. But beyond that, I look forward to discussion at the public hearing.
Thank you, Councillor. Any members? If not, call for the question.
Question.
Questions been called. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, that will be scheduled. So members of Community Council, we have none. Motions, we have none. In camera, would anyone like to move the in camera minutes?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Seconded by,
Second.
thank you, Councilor Morse. Seconding that. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. All right, we adopted the minutes, and I believe we don't need to go on camera. Let me just make sure. Yep. All right, added items, we have none. Notices of motion. Any notice of motion from members? No. Public participation. So as a reminder, those watching from home, in order to have signed up as a speaker, the deadline was 4:30 p.m. the business day prior to the meeting, Monday, August 29th. And as of now, we have no speakers signed up for today's meeting. So with that, date of our next meeting is September 20th, 2022, and looking for an adjournment.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Mason.